Hello everybody, I'm Nam.
And I'm Chris.
And today we are bringing you a game from the Millennium Games Seasonal League. I don't even know exactly what to call it.
The Just for Funsies, Good Times, Netrunner Party.
Sure, yeah, it happens every week. We've decided to record some games on this particular Monday, and we're going to broadcast them to you guys. And this is a game between me and Chris.
Yay!
So I am playing Blue Sun.
And I'm playing Leela Patel.
We're showing off each other's hands.
Ooh.
There was actually a moment here where we actually thought about looking into the camera because I turned the screen facing us, and we're like, oh crap, we shouldn't do that because we could see each other's hands.
But this game, we decided to record this week because at Millennium Games in Rochester, we're hosting a regional tournament in about 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks after this game was recorded. So we decided to do some more serious testing and some commentary and recording on that.
Speak for yourself. I was not doing anything serious here. I was just having fun as usual.
And I myself am not a criminal player, but I decided that I should probably learn the criminal tricks and preparation. So I see Nam throws down the standard 2 ice, and already I'm flabbergasted, trying to figure out what to do. So sure gamble, desperado, normal start. And I'm kind of sitting back a little bit because with Leela, I feel like you could wait a little longer to apply pressure.
Oh, look at that housekeeping. Right before you get everything except for desperado.
Yeah, that hurts really, really bad.
I was actually half tempted, because I didn't just draw that, I had that in hand. I was actually thinking about playing it the first turn, but then I'm like, well, I really want the money, and I really want to ice everything up.
Yeah.
Didn't want to really leave anything open, so I think that was probably the earliest I could have played.
If you had gone down, what is housekeeping, 2 credits?
2 credits, yeah.
Yeah, if you had gone down to 3 credits, I probably would have been very tempted to just start face checking and maybe even swipe an early agenda, negating the housekeeping. So it was a wise move to wait a little bit.
Sure, yeah. And considering you didn't get that much stuff out, that's really going to pay out for me, I think. I do know the outcome of this, as do you.
It's true.
But we don't want to give it away to the viewers.
No. But what I'm thinking right now with that housekeeping sitting on the board is, all right, I want to sit back, gather some resources, get some money, and then wait until I have one chance to build my wriggle in one turn. Because housekeeping only fires on the first install. So if I could kind of sit back and get up to 10, 15 credits, and then drop security testing, corroder, and whatever else all in one turn, it will seriously reduce the impact of that card.
It's probably also a good call to play everything in one turn and not use any clicks that turn to run as well, because then you will just have fewer cards.
Absolutely. So you're just kind of building your board over here too now.
Yeah, I know. The one problem that I remember having at this point, I'm like, I don't have any economy cards in hand except for that first one that I played. And to be honest, I didn't really draw that much, but it's a little bit more important for me to actually get money, because what you didn't know at this point was I actually ran, what was it? Was that 6-point agenda?
Government takeover?
Yeah, government takeover. So I was running that, and I'm like, well, I can't let you take anything, because at that point it's like, well, that would be the game. I mean, it would minimize the use of your ability, but it doesn't help me any.
For sure. So my last turn was just doing exactly what I was mentioning. I waited and I dropped a security testing, an R&D interface, and an Earthrise Hotel all in one go, which brought me down to just 1 credit. But now I have my economy engine up and running with the Desperado security testing. I have a draw engine up and running, and Nam has to tread lightly because between inside job and R&D interface, if he scores something and I bounce an ice from R&D back to his hand, I have some really easy accesses.
Yeah, definitely true. I actually had a little bit of fear of inside job because a couple of these servers with 2 ice, I knew that one of the ice was cheap, but which one is it? And to be honest, if I couldn't res both, then inside job would actually just bypass whatever. So
yeah, when I fear inside job, I normally try and drop a quandary or something in the 3rd ice slot just to kind of turn it off a little bit. You know, you're still paying to install it and you're still paying to res it, but if it's a toll booth on the outside, you're a lot sadder.
Yeah, so I apologize for the glare here. I did not actually scout out a great location necessarily, but I'm pretty sure that that's an ice wall.
Yeah, it's definitely an ice wall. I remember thinking, all right, well, once I get corroder down, I could just net 0 running through there with my Desperado.
At some point, I was actually thinking about advancing that, but then I realized that your ability would just make it horrible. So I decided not to advance any of my ice.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to de-res it once it's up, which is something you should be afraid of in Leela. I personally wasn't running... Well, that's not true. I was running emergency shutdown. Oh, here we go again. Waiting and installing...
Crazy install.
Yeah, Cerebus, the Codegate Cerebus, and Mimic all in one shot. Getting rid of an extra security testing.
Yeah. Oh, so prior to that, for the turn that you'd installed stuff before, you discarded Inside Job. I was actually thinking, why is he discarding Inside Job? And in my mind, I was like, do you have a second Inside Job in hand? Because that's usually when I would discard Inside Job.
Admittedly, it was a mistake. I was a little bit... I was in a situation where every card in my hand was a card I wanted to keep. Just dropping a Day Job there, getting my money back up, which Day Job in Leela is perfect. Because she has the turns where she wants to be hyper-aggressive, but when those turns are not occurring, you can definitely lay back. And, you know, if I had Influence, Mopus would be perfect, so Day Job is the solution.
Yep, well, to match your Day Job, I have hedge funds and restructuring.
Well, that's certainly money.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm sitting at 10 credits, which is nothing compared to your massive pile.
For right
now. I'm definitely scared of that. But another Earthrise hotel goes down. And at this point, with that easy little ice wall in front of HQ, I'm digging for account siphons to try and turn the tides a little bit.
Yeah.
Dropping a caddy also to get more money flowing in.
She's actually going to pay out really well.
Yeah. Caddy's another card that I think is really strong in Leela. Because unless you're having a turn where it's bounce in ice, run R&D, account siphon, do all those things, you normally have a click or two where you can lay back. And Caddy, of all the economy cards in the games, rewards you the most for just playing with 3 clicks and saving up.
Yeah, you've got to chill out a little bit. To be honest, I think that most runners actually benefit from Kati. Like, I don't know too many that require all the clicks. Unless you're doing weird shenanigans like quest completed or notoriety, you can usually afford to use Kati.
Yeah, I think if you're not a shaper running Magnum Opus, or if you're not doing a prepaid burst economy, Kati is the way to go. But lots of mixed thoughts on this. So, you install in advance.
I do. There's only one counter on it, though.
It's true, but it's a little bit of action, and now I need to start thinking. What am I thinking? First, I'm deciding where to put security testing.
Yep.
Archives.
Probably the best choice.
Yeah. You don't know this, but I was debating so much where to put it because I'm holding a sneak door in hand. And I was thinking about what exactly I wanted to do.
I see.
Thinking maybe I could drop a sneak door, try and snipe something out of HQ, or snipe something elsewhere to bounce back that advance card to HQ and then nab it.
Looking for a thing. I think you're looking for a corroder. Look, there it is.
Seems like the right move. So, drop the corroder on click 2.
I do my handy-dandy cut.
I discard an extra Kadi to pay for the housekeeping. I throw some money on Kadi. And I just take $1. So I'm kind of like, alright, I'll let you have this one.
I believe you have discarded at least 4 cards to housekeeping.
I have.
Yeah.
And I was kind of waiting to install for things like my second Kadi, my second security testing that I would discard at end of turn anyway.
Yep.
But you over-score an Atlas right
Atlas
now.
for 1.
The old-fashioned way. And I'm like, alright, time to start running R&D.
So what you didn't know was that now that you have the breaker suite right here, that double-iced remote, that's actually 2 barriers.
Oh.
I actually would have felt better if one of them was a sentry that was strength 4, because then I would be able to score things there. But I actually kind of held this off for the longest time. Especially because you're going to start, stealing my money.
Right here.
What a jerk.
The siphon goes off. I get through for net 0 with my Desperado credit, get my $10, and now I can start wreaking havoc. Run an R&D. I already have the R&D interface on the board. And it is an errand boy.
Just an errand boy.
Mimic does not mind one bit. Spend 3, get 1 back with Desperado to see 2 cards is a great deal.
Yep. He sees 2.
Nothing of interest.
So yeah, as I said, I'm running Government Takeover, so that's why the density is low, because I'm running that and a bunch of 3-pointers. I think that's the only 2-pointer I have in my deck. So I'm actually okay at this point to just try and score something else, but I'm going to be low on money for a while. So I returned that just to get 1. I mean, there's no harm. It's the first ice, so...
And you need that money. Every dollar counts.
Yep. So I actually did that as a fake-out move, because later you find out that's actually still an ice wall.
Yes.
So...
but clever play, because now I can't just run in assuming I could have siphoned for $1.
Right. True.
Yeah. I mean, Blue Sun is great siphon protection. Because even, especially if I'm floating tags and if you're playing a kill variant, then even if I siphon you down to 0... you pull back a piece of ice and you all of a sudden can afford double scorch. I'm naming Archives again, and I'm going to be debating whether or not to run it to try and force you to res the ice, waste a little more money.
Yeah, to be honest, my money is really valuable because... So my intent is, even if I don't have the kill deck, I need to have more money than you to feign possibly trying to kill you. And if I do have it, then I actually want to have more money than you. So either way, I need to... get more money than you, but the fact that if you're just going to keep on stealing it or keeping it down, I can't deal with that.
Makes sense. I dropped the Fairy preemptively just to combo with the Mimic so I could run and face check a little more fearlessly. When Nam was low on money, I felt comfortable going with just a Mimic, but now I have to be worried. So the Fairy is there. I also run a Fem in this deck for a more permanent solution if need be, but no one likes breaking things like Archer with Fem. It's just so expensive.
If you knew the Archer was coming, you could totally just mark it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, with Blue Sun, it'll just return it and then play it again. Except for Archer, because you have to forfeit it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind you returning Archer to your hand. That's fine with me.
It's only 6 money compared to the other things. Like, it's not that amazing.
Alright, so I'm kind of sitting back right now. I was a little bummed to not capitalize all that much on Nam's first score. I didn't get any agendas, I just got some money out of it. But I'm sitting back, putting down another Earthrise to dig for more run events, and really loading up that Kadi. Because until I have tags, and if I'm not running, I'm not worried about receiving tags on Nam's end, I could just pile all the money on top of her.
Yeah, to be fair, I really wanted to tag him at this point. The one problem with that is it would require him to A, steal an agenda, or me to have more money than him, which I do at this point, but I might not have the card in hand. Because right now, even with just 12 credits on Kadi, 15 credits on Kadi, I would totally blow it up. I would totally spend my turn and my corp life savings just to get rid of her.
Absolutely. That's why I've even started to see, Snatch and Grab appear as one-ofs in some decks that are playing the money game, like a Weyland Blue Sun deck, just for situations like this where you can't land the tag on me, but you have money to kind of play the trace game anyway.
Yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm deciding where to place that third ice, and what Chris doesn't know is that both servers are identical, but I just wanted to make him believe that they were different.
So I'm sitting back and I'm wondering why you decided to build 2 servers. So I'm starting to expect some shenanigans, but now that the game is over, why did you decide to kind of fake me out and build a second scoring remote?
At this point, because one of them I figured you were going to return ice to hand with, so I was like, well, might as well have at least a second one, because just in case it was after a turn in which I scored or you stole, then I would have had a full one ready to go if I happened to draw one off the top.
That makes a lot of sense.
So just kind of a slight safety thing, but I don't have many tricks in this particular build of Blue Sun, which, to be honest, is probably a bad idea.
Oh. So I'm deciding to take the Leela Patel crazy events turn, where I siphon through the HQ ice, which turns out just to be an ice wall again, get my $10.
Yep,
and then a dirty laundry R&D.
Yeah, I happen to have exactly 8 credits left, so I spend my life savings for that toll booth. And then he can make it through it, but it'll tax him severely. It's
true. Normally I would jack out, but having done the dirty laundry and I'll get some of that money back, I don't really mind. And I actually choose to let one of the errand boy subroutines fire just to stay at enough money. $5, 4 for an NEPD, 5 to trash anything.
I chose to draw, nothing happened, and the thing I drew was not an agenda, so it didn't really matter.
So I get my $5 from Dirty Laundry, And now my mind is on how to deal with that toll booth.
Yep. He did spend the rest of his turn to remove the tags. Importantly, I did have... I forgot what I had in hand. I think I had one Scorched.
Okay.
Maybe one Scorched, one Punitive, but...
Yeah. I mean, at that point, because you spent, like you said, your life savings on that toll booth, I wasn't so worried about the Scorch. Maybe there were traffic accidents, which would be a pain in the butt because those are free. But mostly it was, I checked R&D, I hit HQ already, I wasn't worried that something was in there. So I'd rather clear them now, preemptively, than be stuck with them for another turn or two.
Yeah, because honestly, even with 0 money, and you had a Cotty loaded up like that, I'd go, credit, blow her up.
And that would be an excellent turn.
And I mean blow her up in the nicest possible way.
Yeah. Chase her away with a stick. So I'm dirty laundrying my security testing archives, get a whole mess of money. The blue sun stick. Oh, jeez.
Let me show you my blue sun. It's sad, and he's my child.
Oh.
He's got a stick. Sorry, Cotty.
So, sitting back, collecting some money, building my board, and waiting to strike. And honestly, waiting to kind of draw into an emergency shutdown to start playing the money game with that toll booth. I was happy to see you didn't bounce it back yet, so I'm hoping I could beat you to it.
Yeah, to be fair, I was like, well, it's doing me way more good. If I returned it, it would only make me lose 1 credit in the whole fray, because I'd probably just play it back there again. So
at this point, housekeeping is just a little bit of a nuisance. My rig is set up, but I can't drop extra things like another R&D interface.
Which is clearly right in your hand.
It's true. I see the mid-seasons.
Aha, there's mid-season.
And I start shaking.
No, you don't, because you have so much money.
And there it is, the shutdown on the toll booth.
Ouch.
Very happy to do it.
That hurts a lot, because I'm like, oh, crap, he can get in for, 3, because the errand boy...
And then I get one back. So I shut down the toll booth, drop another R&D interface, and start going for it. Seeing 3 cards. And...
1!
Ooh, get 3 points. So now I have to make the big decision of what to bounce. I was thinking about the toll booth, but I kind of like knowing exactly where it is.
Yeah, that's true. And because I can't return unres things, then it's going to have to stay there. So.
So I decided to bounce archives just to kind of dissuade you from reinstalling and then resing, keeping my security testing engine a little more alive.
Yes, this entire time I'm also hoping for an oversight AI, because I've got 2 curtain walls hidden somewhere on the table. And
that's big money and big stop. Although at this point, I'm sitting on a nice pile of change. It'd probably be more just to play the economic game.
Yeah, if you decided to do that, at least it would have made you spend a ton of money for just 1 credit on my part. I suppose you get to destroy the ice too, but whatever.
Whatever. So, just running archives, getting my $3, can't complain. And having left the toll booth there, I know I could get through to R&D no problem, and decide just to check again. I'm seeing some repeat cards, but that's fine. At this point, my best bet is to keep R&D lock while Nam is trying to build up his economy.
Have you watched any of the Teamwork Cast videos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. So
those guys are great.
Yeah, they're awesome. And one of the things that I really like that they do that we talked about last time, but we didn't put any graphical things. Oh, so usually we have Tim with us, but today he is not with us. He's just busy. He can't make it out. Not like he perished or anything.
No. He's in good health.
Yeah, but he and I and Chris were all talking about doing percentage of accesses and what you steal, and Teamwork Cast has this really nifty chart at the end of each game, and
it's super nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So there's this next siphon, and you res. Oh, that's one of the morph ice. What's it called? Wendigo. That's Wendigo?
No, that's not Wendigo. That is... I should know, this is my deck, but to be honest...
I get all the morph ice mixed up, but at this point it's just attacks because I have a full suite out.
Yeah, it's the one that is a sentry when you have an odd number of advancement counters on it. So, yeah. I should really know what the name of this is. We're not going to look it up because... Whatever.
It's that morph one, It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just got some money and I'm happy. I'll break any ice. So, clearing the tags and just sitting back. So like I said, I'm trying to keep Nom down on economy and keep R&D lock up.
Yeah, what is that? The second account siphon?
I think that might have been the
Is that the third one?
Yeah, that might have been the third one.
Oh man, that was really... Ugh! Alright.
When Leela hits hard. So, you get that toll booth back to your hand for some money.
That was painful.
Or rather, sorry, I misspoke. You took back the errand boy and shifted the toll booth down to the first position on R&D.
Oh, right, yes. I did take the errand boy, because the toll booth was face down, and it still is.
Yeah. I mean, definitely need money, so... But that tells me you might as well run archives, because you're probably not going to spend it resing that ice. Getting my $3.
Probably a good call.
And then I know that's a toll booth. Does he res it? And he does.
You're welcome.
Toll booth is pretty taxing for me. With the Cerebus, it cost me 4 to boost, 1 to break, and 3 for the tax. So that's quite a chunk of change.
Yeah, and the counters are finite, so unless you can reinstall... I know you have multiple in the deck, but, if you ended up running out.
Stealing another 3-pointer, though.
Yeah, 6-2.
Worth those $7.
I can still search for a thing, but I haven't used it. To be honest, it hasn't really been necessary.
Yeah, well, I would imagine you're saving the counter either for pulling another piece of the kill combo, or if I were to run R&D with a big multi-axis, and it would be a game-winning multi-axis, maybe pull out that government takeover you were talking about.
I wish I could kill you. That is the thing that I really want to do right now, but... Because you're like... Leela Patel, wealthy Indian girl. That's who you are right now as the runner.
I must say, it took me a while to get the hang of Leela with the economy engine. I'm used to Shaper and Mopus, but man, with all those run events, with the dirty laundry and with the account siphons, and the ability to clear out the way through some servers to make it easier, once she gets going, she really gets going.
You are using her ability really well, even though I've designed the deck to have fewer agendas total, because I figured there would be more of her around, but each of your decisions has been pretty good, so...
That's, for me, that was and is still the biggest, I would say the biggest skill ceiling playing Leela. There's definitely been games where the corpse scores an agenda, and I think, wow, I have no idea what the best move is, which to bounce back. And those are the kind of decisions that win or lose games with Leela.
Yeah. I'll agree, but I mean, if you think about it too, if you've played with other criminals without that option, I mean, sometimes picking something will always be better than not having that ability. You know, because it's going to do something.
Makes sense. So right now, again, trying to hold the R&D lock. I'm feeling pretty comfortable, and I'm just checking HQ to make sure there's nothing I need to worry about in there. And also to do that, shut down another toll booth.
Don't lie, you were totally going to do that. That was your entire plan.
Surprise!
Actually, you knew I wasn't drawing anything. You've seen the top of my deck a couple of times for 3-card accesses.
It's true.
You know I'm not drawing anything.
So I'm seeing another 3 cards, and you're doing that thing. You're pulling out a card.
I'm pulling out a card.
Presumably government takeover. Because at this point, if it's sitting in HQ, it's the same as anything else. So you might as well take it and try and score it yourself.
Here's my thought process. I figured I'm probably going to lose anyway. At least if I can score this, I can win. If I can't, then I lose. But also, if it's in deck, I can't really prevent it from being taken. At least if it's in hand, I had options of bluffing with it and throwing it in archives, which did cross my mind. Whether I do that or not will be up to the video.
We'll see what happens.
But, yeah, if I end up scoring this, it's awesome. But
I'm showing the camera that I see nothing off the top of R&D, and I pout. But it's okay, because I know you have a 6-pointer in your hand.
Yes.
So guess where I'm running next turn?
My hand.
Yeah, unless you draw through those 3 cards, then I'm probably just going to hit HQ.
So as a general question about your deck here, do you run HQ interfaces?
Oh... I've been changing Leela around and going back and forth between them. I think in this version of the deck, I do not.
Okay. Were you just testing that out, or is that actually a conscious decision where you were like, hey, I don't have slots, and these are the worst things?
I don't think they're the worst things. I do like HQ interface. I chose legwork in this deck because I like the ability with Leela to do very, very, impulsive runs and impactful runs. And having a legwork held back in hand comes as more of a surprise.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, and there's the government takeover out of
your
HQ.
first pick!
Love it.
Oh, well.
So, I mean, I dropped the sneak door, and that turn's plan was just to sneak door over and over, trying to see it. But to go back to your question, I think it's, for me, I like the R&D interfaces because with limited influence, it's nice to have them sit down there and have that constant R&D pressure. Where in Criminal, I have so many cards that have HQ pressure, so I don't need the constant pressure from the HQ interface. You're already worried about Siphon, about legwork, about emergency shutdown, about all those cards. Mm-hmm. So it's not as necessary in this deck as the R&D interface.
Right, I'll definitely agree with that. Yeah, I mean, some decks actually run both, just so that the pressure is always there. But I understand that your argument's also kind of HQ interface goes against a little bit. It goes against account siphon. Mm-hmm. It goes against. Well, I mean, it technically doesn't go against, but it's kind of like a replacement kind of for legwork, but legwork's a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Especially because you want the surprise, and it really helps with your ability too. So. Yeah,
absolutely. And I agree with what you're saying. R&D in Criminal, I'm only running to get agendas, really. But HQ, I'm running for a lot of other reasons. So the setup and cost of the HQ interface is not necessarily worth it.
True. All right. Well, good game, sir.
Good game to you as well, Nam.
Are you recording your game?
I am. This is part of a little pitch. I've been getting... Oh, the video's over. But I've been getting ready for regionals. And on the Netrunner Geeks Facebook group, I put out a little crowdsource thing asking for recommendations of what decks to play in preparation, promising to play each list 10 times. So I was recording that play with Leela, trying to get to 10.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of Netrunner, but I like it, so it's fun.
All right, guys. That's it for this video. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.